Hello there, Stephen Thomas. Let's make sure I'm live. There we go. I see somebody. Somebody's on. We're coming there. Alrighty. I was doing some Facebook Lives just to myself to try different things to make sure that I got enough of everything in the screen. Let me adjust this. Alright. So, hello there. Thank you for joining me on Housing Debrief, Episode 3. I moved it to Tuesdays and Fridays because there's just so much coming at me, as well as and the coronavirus being so fluid, there's so much to read, as well as I also put out my housing reports from reportsonhousing.com, and so I've been working very hard to get those out. We just got out Los Angeles and Orange County yesterday, and we're working on San Diego. That one should be out momentarily. So without further ado, I did want to start off with with letting you know that reportsonhousing.com, we're your local real estate snapshot. This is my gig. This is what I do to feed my family. I have lots of kids, so please, if you like the content you're seeing, please subscribe to reportsonhousing.com. And the last report that just came out, like I talked about, it came out last night for LA and Orange County. It's called COVID-19 and Cracks. And I go over the specific cracks and what it looks like in the various markets, LA, Orange County, and San Diego. Riverside and San Bernardino, we do that on off weeks. So next week will be San Bernardino and Riverside. And you go to reportsonhousing.com to subscribe. You just hit that little subscribe button. If you sign up today, you get a month free. Just enter in the coupon code of reports. And I am now sponsored by Matterport 3D, tours.com. So Matterport 3D, this is going to be very important. I have a little update that the MLS just announced momentarily. They're the most effective virtual imaging available to showcase your listing remotely, and they keep your buyers, sellers, and yourself safe. And they have special COVID-19 extra precautions that they take. And you can reserve a photographer at reservephotographer.com. That's their landing page. And they start at $299, and that's special COVID-19 pricing. And I did want to start off, we're officially into spring. We've had those spring showers already, and we've been taking our walks in the morning, and just absolutely beautiful. So I'm glad that we've moved on to spring. Hopefully soon some warmer weather, because we know that might be a total deterrent to this COVID-19 crisis that we have. So these are some photos that were sent my direction. This was actually on Twitter, and this is a bunch of guys that got together. And don't worry, they have their social distancing, but they're still got their beer in their hand, and they can meet and talk. And then I sent that out to some buddies of mine, and a buddy of mine in turn said, "Look at what the ladies are doing. They're grabbing their wine," and this was right here in Rancho Mission Viejo. Grab their wine, and they also got the social distancing thing going. This was funny. For the first time in history, you can help save humanity by sitting on the couch, watching TV, and surfing the internet. For God's sake, don't mess this up. I've seen this in many different variations. Pretty funny. And this is this was updated for this week. This is our COVID-19 home from school schedule. My wife, bless her heart, has been extremely busy. She is doing the at-home school stuff, and boy, oh boy, that is very, very challenging. They get an email she gets an email from every single teacher, including Zeke. He has a Montessori teacher, so he needs to be in front of the screen at a certain time, and we're getting emails from every single teacher. And the kids that are in junior high have 7 classes, so they're getting 7 emails apiece and multiple emails. So my wife has this full-time job called coordinating all the kids' schooling. So my background is I've been giving my stuff to the Orange County Register, and from that's where I've ended up all over the place. This is just for credibility for those buyers and sellers and clients and everybody else that's joining us. I'm a quantitative economics and decision sciences major. I went to UC San Diego. I've been in the business for 28 years, OC native, Capital Valley High School grad, 9 kids, and I'm an avid runner. These are my kids. I brought 6, my wife brought 2, and then we have this little guy. That's our bonus guy. We do have 9 kids. That is for real. I have 2 kids up at Washington State, one in Aliso Viejo and the other one in Rancho Santa Margarita, and soon they will all be joining us. So my macroeconomic outlook looks a bit like this. I've talked about it before. Logan Mohtashami coined this phrase, BC, before coronavirus, and we can't wait to talk about AD, after disease, and that will come. That day will come. We're just right now in the midst of it. But the macro charts all look good. There's still some really good charts that have come our direction with new home sales, but we've got to look forward, going from here forward to see what the impact is going to be economically. And this just gives you an indicator of what it's going to be like as far as jobs are concerned. You can see the new job postings on Indeed just dropped quite a bit. There's that curve, that orange curve that is heading down right now. But that's just new job postings, and we know that would be intuitive, that people aren't going to be posting jobs. You can't even meet with them at this point. And I wanted to compare now to the Great Recession. This is not the Great Recession. It's not even close. Here in the Great Recession, we had 15 million people that were unemployed, and then coronavirus will have between 6 and 7 million people. The there was industries that were actually lost. The furniture industry, building industry, mortgage subprime industry. There were industries that literally people could no longer go back to after the Great Recession started to recede. And this time we have furlough unemployment. So furlough unemployment is basically where we've got unemployment, but it is a short-term unemployment. It's not going to be a long-term unemployment. Those industries are still going to exist. It's just you can't go work at Disneyland. I know some restaurants that have closed. Well, when they reopen, the patrons will again patronize those places. The Great Recession was an extremely lengthy recovery. It really started, I could feel the effects of it and see it on all the numbers starting in 2006. And that thing bled all the way to the beginning of 2012. So that was 6 years. What we're talking about this time it will correct quickly. Once the economy engine starts going, that we're going to see industries start to recoup really fast, and real estate is going to be one of those industries as well. So basically, take a deep breath and just relax. This is not the end of the world. It's not the end of the civilization. It's not the end of our economy. Yes, we're going into a recession that's probably going to be a very, very deep 1/4 recession. And the technical term for recession is 2 quarters of negative GDP, but this thing is so impactful that it is technically going to be a recession. We can already feel it. I mean, we're not purchasing like we normally do. We're not driving around. We're not traveling. I think Marriott said their hotel bookings are down 90%. So, but understand that there is a light to the end of this tunnel. There is recovery on the other side. China is in a recovery mode. South Korea is in a recovery mode. And I bring up Italy because for the first time, Italy is starting to, they've hit that apex, they think, and it's going to start to come down. When you get that recovery, you start to get the economic wheels moving again. Starbucks reopened 95% of their stores in China, and they're almost at full employment back in China. And this is that curve that I talked about in Italy, how this is new cases. You can see new cases are starting to come down, and that's what you want to start to see. Yes, they'll still be in lockdown for a while, but this means that there is starting to be light at the end of that tunnel. Flattening the curve. By the way, somebody mentioned that they liked that Great Recession slide. All these slides, after we're done, I will save these as a PDF, and I will put it at the top of this. I will save it to Facebook, and the Facebook Live you'll be able to view over again or send it to clients or whoever you want. And there will be a PDF version of it as well. And so this is the whole thing. We all now know all about flattening the curve. I too would love to be done with this by Easter, but in California and in New York and in New Jersey and in Washington and in other states that are starting to pop up, it's going to be very, very difficult for us to be done with this by Easter. We need to sit tight until we get to where the numbers are really starting to come down enough where we get the green light from all the health experts. That's what we're waiting for. And I do want everybody to understand, housing is strong, it is still strong. But there's a lot of chaos that's out there. That chaos creates everybody wanting to move their money to someplace safe. And as a result, everybody has been pumping their money into long-term bonds because, gosh, you can hold on to it for 10 years, you can hold on to it for longer, and it's guaranteed. And this is, as of about an hour ago, the 10-year Treasury still below 1%. It actually had a very good day where it went back up, and that was the stock market. I think they had their best day in 33 years. I have not caught quite up to it yet, but it is going way up right now. Understand that this at being below 1%, our interest rates should really be about 3% right now. They're not even close to that. Freddie Mac's interest rates, we showed you this, is at 3.65%. And just know that interest rates right now are this total seesaw, and that's because of the uncertainty. They're waiting for the government to come up with more of these stimulus packages. More and more of them are being unveiled, but we need the actual Congress and the presidential administration to come together. But I've seen interest rates, when I was looking just today, I've seen interest rates from 3.5% to 3.75% all the way to 4%. So they're all over the place, and they're vacillating like crazy because I've been looking at all these institutions and watching this seesaw of rates. Part of it, they said, is just they don't have enough manpower, especially right now. So the interest rates are artificially up a bit. And part of it is just all that uncertainty. We will get more towards where there's a light, and then we're going to watch the drift of interest rates down towards that 3% where they should be, given the current place where 10-year Treasury is right now. The coronavirus, here are some of the facts. We did this last Friday, and from Friday to today, we've gone up 56%. We're now at 414,000 cases. We have 108,000 recoveries, and that's up 23% from last Friday, so we're starting to see quite a few recovered as well. There were 18,600 in deaths to date, and that's up 68% from last Friday. And the problem areas, and this is in order of how big of a problem they are. Italy is number one, US is number two in just sheer numbers. Spain is pretty bad. They have a smaller size, but we've surpassed Spain in total numbers. Germany, Iran, and France. There are 51,500 cases in the United States, and that's up 210%. That means like we tripled since last Friday. Or doubled since last Friday, sorry. 300 million US citizens. So just keep that in mind. And but we have to understand 51,000 cases is a lot of cases. And we just want to keep everybody away from each other so we don't infect each other. Remember, this has a 2-week incubation thing, which is part of the reason why we've been holed up in our houses for a couple weeks, but it needs to go beyond that because there's going to be still new cases that are uncovered. So those people could have been in contact with other people, and that's what that snowball is all about. So we're just holding out, waiting for the green light from all of the smartest scientists in the world. We listen to economists for all the stats and data. We listen to politicians for what's coming down the road as far as different fixes for the economy, and we listen to the scientists because the scientists are the ones that are going to give us that thumbs up when we're ready to go. Oh, what was that last slide? 2,190 in California. That's up 100%. So it doubled since last Friday. Coronavirus and economy. I've said it before, it's all about scale and duration. We've got the scale. Now, how long is this thing going to last? Well, part of the scale, I don't know if you heard, but the Tokyo 2020 Olympics, Canada was first. They were on the leading edge saying, we're not going. And then everybody else started to follow suit. And now this thing has been postponed probably until 2021. We're still going to have the Olympics. We just need to make sure everybody's healthy and safe and we're able to do sports again. So that has been postponed. Also, very, very busy. Jerry Powell and the Federal Reserve, I announced some things that they did last week. Holy cow, have they been busy. They've changed it to unlimited quantitative easing. Before they put a cap on what they were doing. Now they're doing unlimited. They're just going to, they're pulling all the levers right now. They are going to be doing MBS purchases, commercial real estate purchases. They have brought the Fed fund rate all the way down to zero. That doesn't mean zero interest rates, by the way. But they brought that Fed fund rate down to zero, and there's an alphabet soup of credit facilities. I don't even want to go into detail what all this is. Just know that there's this outline of about 10 different facilities that they're getting involved in, where they're going to be buying up tranches of finances. So just understand that they have our back. They're doing their part. They've done everything they can. They pulled all the levers. So understand, this is the other part that we need to see get done. This is coming soon. Probably is going to be tomorrow. I've been looking like crazy. It looks like it's close. They both sat there, gave their speeches about why what the reasons that they have for what they're doing, and the other side got up and did what the reasons are they doing. Just get this thing done. Get this thing done so it helps everybody out there. Let's use common sense. Let's not give companies trillions of dollars and them not have to pay it back or do something to help offset that in the future. There shouldn't be giant bonuses. We've learned from the Great Recession. There are different things that we could do, and we need to help out this consumer at the same time. There's a lot that can be done, and this package that's coming soon is going to be massive. So stay tuned. It is coming probably tomorrow. And then let's look at housing down the road. This is what I've been watching. Supply. I've been watching demand. I have been watching where interest rates are, because that really factors into demand. So I really want to see those interest rates. I like 3.5%. But I'm telling you that to get this engine going, we're going to need those interest rates down lower, and everybody is stoked on refinancing and financing and buying, and this is going to be the steam engine that will propel us right out of this thing as soon as we get to the other side. So understand, I am very, very optimistic about it right now. Open houses, that has been drastically curtailed. We'll get into that. Industries shutdowns, well, if you're in the real estate industry, there has been a major change to the way that we're doing business, because there has been C.A.R. guidance on this. I'm not going to give you the full scoop. Just know that says a lot about what Governor Newsom and the state public health officer issued an executive order. Excuse me. And they even named it. But understand that the real estate industry is not exempt from this prohibition, except as needed to maintain community operation of construction, including housing construction. So it's on the construction side. So you can still see the construction taking place. Goes on further and says realtors should cease doing all face-to-face marketing or sales activities, including showings, listing appointments, open houses, and property inspections. Understand that. It also applies to clients as well. We can't be carting clients around to the various houses. It goes on, property management and repair work and all that stuff, but additionally, many other aspects of the real estate industry can continue to occur without in-person contact, including documentation and signing, and in many circumstances, closings. We can still close these things if they're far enough along. So there is a lot that we can do, and we can do a lot with DocuSign. So we don't have to be face-to-face with people. We can do a lot of this stuff electronically. And C.A.R. has added this coronavirus addendum. Take a look at it. This helps in mitigating closings of escrows that are supposed to close but aren't going to quite close. This will help. So take a look at it. There's a lot of information. There's been a lot of dialogue about it. Plenty out there. And Matt says that there's going to be an update to this probably. Primary housing is essential. Yes, absolutely. There will be an update. So MLS. MLS, I just saw this, so I want everybody to know this. The hold status limit of, I believe it was like 30 days locally, but 30 days or whatever, the hold status limit has been lifted. Virtual tours are allowed in the public remarks right now. And also virtual open houses and virtual showings are allowed in the public remarks. And gosh, that's another reason to be contacting Matterport 3D right here. So the Southern California market, I told you housing has been hot. It's still in the hot category according to all of my metrics. We're starting to inch our way towards a slight seller's market out of the hot seller's market. That was fast. Took about a couple weeks, but I don't expect it to be to go off the charts and expect a market time to rapidly increase to the point where it tilts towards buyers. I simply don't, because it all has to do with supply and demand. And I've talked about this before. We're going to talk about it again. Southern California housing supply. It is still a supply problem. The supply is a lot are in escrow, and there are not a lot of homes on the market. I will show you this right now, and this is where we're at right now. Last Thursday, we were at 28,816 homes on the market. Understand, that is a very low tank if you're looking at Southern California active inventory. Very, very low. And that was up 1% in 2 weeks. Last year, we were at 40,832. That's up 42% compared to where we're at right now. And this is last year compared to this year. And then I snapped it right now before I did this meeting, and we're at 28,247. It's actually going down right now. That is the mere fact that there are people out there that are not going to be placing their homes on the market right now. It's not an advantageous time to place your home on the market. There are some coming on, but there's a lot that aren't. So, and we're seeing more people place their home on hold. And I have those statistics in most of those markets. LA and Orange County, it is 10% of the active inventory is actually in hold do not show status. So it's not even on this chart because you can't show it right now. It is on hold do not show. So you say that might be artificially low, but it doesn't exist right now. You can't find it on the internet. It's not on the market. It's not being marketed. And it takes a long time to add that inventory. In 2018, we started out in March, and it took us all the way till Thanksgiving to get to a point where we had a lot more inventory than we had seen in years. So we had a lot of inventory back then, but it took 8 to 9 months to even get there. Look at this. This is November. That is quite the hill that we have to climb, and it's not instantaneous. As I told you, we're actually down right now compared to last week. So this right now is flat at best and might be even down a little bit until after we get out of the weeds here and we can see the light at the end of the tunnel. And sellers are absolutely not going to give away the farm. That's it. Quite simply, they're not going to give away the farm. They're not going to say all of a sudden, hey, you know what? I'm going to reduce my price just so that I can get my home sold. That is not going to happen. That is not the way America works. That's not the way that we barter. They'll pull their home off the market and place on hold do not show before they reduce it and give away the farm. That's just absolutely not going to happen. And let's talk about demand. Oops, just touched my face. And here are some of the cracks, and I'm going to give the updates as to where we are today. Today we're at 15,000, or that should say, gosh darn it, I have to redo this slide. That should say last Thursday. So last Thursday we were at 15,360. That was down 8% in 2 weeks, and that is not normal. Normally we're going up at this time of the year. Last year we were at 15,937. There was actually 4% more demand. That was the first time that had happened since last year. A normal change is we're up 6%. So we went down 8% when we should be going up 6%. The difference is 14%. Today we're at 14,050. It's down another 8.5%. I'm taking that metric with a grain of salt because we're at Tuesday. and understand that Tuesday there's not enough data yet. I take my data typically on Thursdays, so next Friday's data will have a really good indicator as to where we are at. So tune in Friday at 3 o'clock. And this is all of Southern California, and you could see some markets. By the time we get to this coming Friday, when I take a look at it, we're going to be negative on all these charts. So demand will be down across the board. Touch my face again. You touch your face 23 times an hour, by the way, and I think I do it about 23 times in a half hour. So here's the other crack. It's expected market time. This is not normal. You do not see this little chad that goes up. We don't see that typically go up. March 5th, we were at 51 days. That was last Thursday, or that was two Thursdays prior. SoCal last year, we were at 77 days. And SoCal last Thursday, we were at 56 days. So you can see last year was a lot slower. SoCal today, if I take today's active inventory, which is a little bit less in demand, which is a lot less, we actually have risen to 60 days. That's right at the point where it's going to move from a hot seller's market to a slight seller's market. A slight seller's market, and which is where I actually think we're going to come out of this thing balanced. Don't think it's going to tilt in favor of buyers. Don't think it's quite going to tilt in favor of sellers. But I think once this economic engine goes really quick, we're going to see a spike in demand and inventory won't come on fast enough, and then we'll see this get back towards that hot seller's market. But SoCal today is at 60-day expected market time. So like I said, going towards slight sellers means we're not appreciating fast. However, sellers get to still call something more of the shots. And I want everybody to understand that below the 60 days is the hot seller's market. Between 60 and 90 is what we refer to as the slight seller's market. Between 90 and 120, that is a balanced market. And then between 120 and 150 is a slight buyer's market. Where pricing really goes down, those people that were saying that we're going to go down 10% in 90 days, you have to be above this number. And you have to be there for a while, not a hot minute. You have to be there for a while. And we're not going to have that substantial amount of time where we would be when we're getting out of this, where we're going to be higher up on this chart. And understand this. In 2018, we moved towards a slight buyer's market, and it took us all the way from March till we got to December. That's 9 months. So that is a long stretch, and 9 months from now, I hope to be skiing on the slopes of one of the mountains and the coronavirus being a distant nightmare in the background. So here's my market overview. Like I said, these are the things that we'll be watching. Supply has a long way to rise and will take some time. Demand, gosh, we have people that have locked loans. That's part of the reason that some of the demand numbers are coming down. And lower interest rates, when are they going to happen? Because when they do start to happen, we're going to see people that are going to be itching to purchase even in the midst of all this, especially when we see that light at the end of the tunnel. Some people are going to be looking on their phones saying, gosh, I want to see this house. Well, I can't see it. I want to make an offer on it. And we're going to see more of that down the road just as soon as we get that definitive, hey, you know what? This is where we're going to be in the clear from the scientists. And then we've got to watch those industry shutdowns. So go to reportsonhousing.com to subscribe, please, because that's how I am able to do these videos and stay in business and feed my family. And you get a month free if you sign up today, and the coupon code is reports. I do have a business page. It's Reports on Housing, Facebook business page. I want to thank my sponsor, Matterport3dtours.com. Like I said before, most effective virtual imaging available to showcase your listings remotely, and now the MLS has cleared the way for you to do all this stuff. So keep your buyers, sellers, and yourself safe, and they've got special ways of doing this. So just understand that. ReservePhotographer.com. They start at $2.99. That's it, folks. Let's see, I am right at 3:30. I promised I'd make these things a half hour. I really appreciate the time and all that. And I'm going to put a post right now together after this, and I'm going to ask for your questions. The Q&A is very, very hard to do. So what I want to do is ask for some questions, and we can take it from there. I really appreciate it, and I hope everybody stays safe, enjoys their time with their children, their family, their spouses. If you're alone, Netflix, I don't know, but have fun, reach out. We have FaceTime. You can FaceTime me. We'll say hello. Everybody, just breathe a little bit. We will get through this. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.